Rule 4 and 7 to bring a matter of urgent public importance. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the matter has to do with the operations of the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for Recovery of Public Property. My dear colleagues, this panel that was set up to investigate and perhaps recover public property has provoked several petitions and complaints from the public. Aside that, the functions of this panel run contrary to clear provisions of the law. It has become necessary and urgent that we look at the operation of this panel holistically and come up with a position that will protect the interests of all of us and our country, Nigeria. I therefore urge you to see this as an important matter and one that is urgent and that is worthy of our discussion this morning. I so move.
Honorable
People of Edu, Moro, Patigi. I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the motion on SIP ably moved by Honorable Chinda. I so second.
Those in favor, those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Second limb of the motion that will suspend our rules. Honorable Mike.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Mike Etaba. I represent the good people of Obu Tung. I'm from Cross River. I stand to second the league of the motion, as heavily moved by my colleague. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.
Honorable colleagues, the motion is on the need to investigate the operations of the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property. The House notes the inauguration of the Special Presidential Investigative Panel pursuant to Public Property Special Provisions Act, Cap R4 Laws of Federation of Nigeria, otherwise drawing power from Decree Number 3, 1984, with a commencement date of 31st December 1983. The House also knows that the said panel is alleged to have received petitions from Nigerians, and its mode of operation is to proceed to investigate citizens to fill asset declaration form, which is by law the exclusive mandate of the Code of Conduct Bureau under the Code of Conduct and Tribunal Act, Cap T15, Laws of Federation of Nigeria. The House is concerned that following the activities of the panel, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation has received several complaints from the general public on the need to take an in-depth look at the law vis-à-vis the various anti-corruption agencies that are now established, particularly the Code of Conduct and the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The House is aware that Section 153 of the 1999 Constitution captures the Code of Conduct Bureau as a federal executive body, and that the fifth schedule to the Constitution provides greater details of the act amounting to a breach of conduct of public officers and establish the Code of Conduct Tribunal.
Order.
The House is also aware that the Public Special Provision Act,
please, members should take their seats. Please, down Asuko. Asuko, please.
Of Federation of Nigeria
resume your seat.
predates the Code of Conduct Tribunal Act.
Honorable Kayode.
Whereas the act commenced on 31st December 1983, the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act commenced
silence,
on 1st January 1991. The House is further aware that the Public Property Special Provision Act is a spent law by virtue of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act 2004. The House is deeply concerned that there cannot be two parallel agencies of government, no matter the manner of operation, undertaking the same functions in whatever guise or form. The House is further concerned that the Special Presidential Investigative Panel ought not to have been set up in view of the existence of such institutions as EFCC, ICPC, and especially the Code of Conduct Bureau and Code of Conduct Tribunal, both or all created by law and supported by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The House is mindful that the Code of Conduct Tribunal is a special court whose chairman is a qualified judge of a superior court of record dealing with matters related to the subject, whereas the Public Property Special Provision Act gives jurisdiction to the Federal High Court under Section 22B of its enabling acts, which is not only inconsistent with the Code of Conduct Tribunal Act, but inconsistent with Section 251 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The House views with concern the consequential economic implication of setting up multiple agencies with its ravaging effect on the lean purse of government. The House is called to consider and resolve as follows: a singular prayer to set up an ad hoc committee to fully investigate the modus operandi of the Special Presidential Investigation Panel, SPIP, to ensure that it is in tandem with our laws and that it conforms to best practices. I so move.
Seconder, Honorable Eukaria Azado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Azado Eukaria. I represent Agbat.
Order.
I'm from Anambra State.
Order, please.
Motion as moved by Honorable Chinda. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chinda, 2 minutes to lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. My dear colleagues, the operations
Honorable
of the Special
Shogun,
Presidential Investigation
Odebumi,
Panel
please
for
resume
the
your
recovery
seat,
of
or you
public
go to
property
NTA.
has provoked outcry
Please
by
resume your seat.
Nigerians.
Shogun,
You will
resume your
recall
seat.
that this law is indeed a military decree which was particularly put in force because of the civilian administration of former President Shehu Shagari. It was under this same law that some persons in that government were put in prison. And thereafter, this law was incorporated into the laws of Federation of Nigeria. My dear colleagues, you will also recall that, in fact, the functions that were captured in this law have been taken care of in the Code of Conduct law that this House made. We even went further to set up the Code of Conduct Tribunal to try offenders in that realm. But today, we are still relying on that spent law to set up a panel to investigate and carry out almost the same function with the Code of Conduct. All we are saying is that with the outcry by Nigerians, we are representatives of the people, and our function is not only lawmaking, but representation. And therefore, for us to be sensitive to the yearnings of Nigerians, to the yearnings of the people we represent, there is need for us to look into the operations of this panel under sections 88 and 89 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If we look into the modus operandi of this panel and we feel satisfied, we'll come up with a resolution and also report back to those who have elected us on the modus operandi of this panel. I really do not want to go into the entire gamut of the argument because what I am asking for is investigatory. I don't want to be judgmental at this juncture. What I have called for is for us to investigate the operation of this panel and then come up with a resolution. I would therefore urge you to support this motion. There is need for us to investigate this panel. There is need for us to be proactive, particularly because of the yearnings of Nigerians. I urge you, my dear colleagues.
Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.